The world is agonizing. Millions of people face serious problems. Crises threaten their lives, present and future, as well as the whole of humanity. Ignorance and oppression. 800 million illiterate people on Earth, 68% of them women. Occupation and wars. 40 million people are refugees due to war, internal conflict, and occupation. Unemployment and lack of resources. 6.6% of the world's labor force is unemployed, and the numbers are increasing. Poverty and hunger. 20% of the world's population are below the poverty line. These problems cannot be solved without tapping into the human feelings common to all. 39% of families do not have any way to overcome their financial distress. 78% of families are supported by women, which often means they live in abject poverty. Jakarta, Indonesia. The International Humanitarian Conference on Assistantship for Victims of Occupation, conducted to help people around the world, especially the unfortunate Indonesian and Palestinian refugees.
Through the exercise of their technical and professional competence, they will help transform and empower the entire nations. There is one change that I'm sure the Palestinian people are longing for, and that is the achievements of greater unity within their nations. For the first and foremost source of nation strength is in its unity.
ومجموعة وفاء لبناء القدرات الفلسطينية. تقرير مفصل لصهيب جاسم من جاكرتا.
جاكرتا شهدت أيضا الإعلان عن تأسيس مجموعة وفاء لبناء قدرات الإنسان الفلسطيني المهتمة بتخريج الكوادر والمؤهلين انطلاقا من ترحيب الجامعات الإندونيسية بالطلبة الفلسطينيين وتدشين فكرة تواصل مباشر عبر الإنترنت بين الأفراد المانحين والفلسطينيين المتطلعين لدعم مشاريعهم الصغيرة.
حملتنا الإنسانية ستكون عالمية ونشرك فيها غير المسلمين، فالقضية لا تخص المسلمين وحدهم، وضحايا الاحتلال الإسرائيلي من الفلسطينيين بحاجة إلى دعم كل شعوب العالم.
المجتمع الإندونيسي يرفض كل أشكال الاحتلال، وهذا ما يجعلنا نأمل بأن ندعم كل الجهود الرامية للتخفيف من وطأة أي احتلال وظلم يلاقيه أي شعب في العالم تحقيقا للسلام العالمي.
The Wafaa International Organization emerged from the conference to help people wherever they are. Wafaa Financial Resources, based in the UK, raises living standards by helping individuals become entrepreneurs and obtain loans. Wafaa Human Resources, based in Indonesia, fights ignorance through free education. Wafaa Women's Resources, based in Austria, specializes in building women's capacity for self-development by counteracting the effects of war, occupation, and dysfunctional family relations. Wafaalend is helping people raise their standards of living by facilitating their access to the credit needed to establish small enterprises, and thus partially solve their problems and build a better life. Wafaa Human Resources provides full and partial free educational and training scholarships, providing Palestinian students with significant discounts through partnerships with universities, colleges, and other institutions. Wafaa Women's Resources focuses on building the capacity of Palestinian women, giving special priority to the most vulnerable and marginalized group, women heads of household. We seek to rehabilitate women psychologically and train them on self-development. Wafaa, helping people around the world. John is a young man who lives in Indonesia and specializes in auto mechanics. He dreams of establishing a workshop to enable him to support himself and his family, and therefore send his children to school. John studied what would be needed to start an auto repair business. He sought help in vain from different parties. Finally, he found the best solution, Wafaalend. He visited one of the field partners for Wafaalend and explained his needs. The field partner published John's story on the organization's website, spreading the word to people around the world who want and are able to help fulfill the dreams of others in the form of small loans. Once enough money was collected for John, the field partner delivered it and John was able to open his enterprise. John repaid the borrowed amount after his business began flourishing. Another case in point is Samuel, who lives in Ethiopia. He now has his own fruit stand, thanks to Wafaa. Salem lives in Al-Quds and still needs help to achieve his dream of establishing his own enterprise. You can put a smile on his face by loaning money through Wafaa. Wafaalend, loans for a better life.